Way to go, baby.
Did I finger you okay?
You did. You did a good job. Never do that again. You violated me in ways I did not want to be
Only
violated.
2 fingers.
Wow, thanks. That just makes it worse.
I feel like you should be proud of that.
Proud of that?
Oh, I would be proud of that.
Yeah. I mean, if I did that, I'm probably that person walking down the street pooping their pants just because their sphincters like
Wait a
gone.
minute. Wait a minute.
Oh.
All right, so
We missed something.
yeah, you did.
You two are
You
all
guys, like,
dancing.
dancing.
We're having
We were,
a
like, having
private
discussion.
conversation.
Why are you sitting in your pants?
So welcome back to season 2, episode 4 of Shaken
5.
and 5. Tag on it.
5.
And I told myself like twice.
Mess it up.
Should have done it 3 times. Season 2, episode 5 of the Shaken and Disturbed podcast. This week we are down a couple. Of our the kids are taking a break. You know, it's the first week back at school. Some obligations before the other one goes back to school. So the Alley Cat and the Pumpkinator are not here, but we do have, as always,
Oh, T-Bone.
Meg Z. D. Low. We can't.
No, and the Queen D is here. You know, and just so you know, today we are recording our first episode to put on our YouTube channel. That will be starting later tonight at some point.
I really wanted bangs for this so
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be like just my forehead. Like,
So, babe,
Yeah.
you know what they say.
Sorry.
Just
okay.
a little effort. That's all
okay.
it takes.
now the audience knows why you say that.
Well, they can literally like see the back of your head, but you know,
Because
it's
this
all
is
good.
what Jason sees pretty much 5 days a week.
The back
Yes.
of your head?
But you know, I love you.
Well, he does see that a lot.
Oh, okay. I'm just,
Ooh.
you know, I'm not trying to start nothing. Just
All
trying
right.
to be clear about our messaging.
He sees this low maintenance.
You know, if someone tried to listen to our messaging, their opinion would change every 30
Every
seconds.
30 seconds,
It would
along
be.
with our message.
But you know, the ladies are wearing sunglasses today. I said this in take 2, I think, because we're on take 3.
yeah, we
trying to
take
get this
5.
done.
We had a rough go
Yeah,
today.
it was a rough start, but all my sister wives are wearing sunglasses, you know, just to protect their identities.
We don't want the law coming after us.
No,
I
we
fought
don't
the
want that.
law when the
He
No,
does not
one.
sleep with all of us. Only the
No.
first wife.
You
yeah.
know
Oh,
that.
you
hold
don't
on.
have to just announce yourself each and every time. Like, we're important too.
Yes.
But I did sleep with D.
Technically.
Yes.
Techn-
Yes. Yes. Oh, with my permission.
Of course.
That's
As
how
far-
that's
As
how
a
it's
first
supposed to
wife
be, right?
would.
Because that's how we roll.
Up in here.
Oh my God!
That's how
You still have to say that into the mic. It's
Where-
not going to hear you over there.
Okay.
Because that's how we roll.
There
Why
you
is
go.
it so low?
All right,
Sorry,
so
the man last night.
busy week.
Okay,
but
Megzy, take it easy.
all right, so
Okay.
Oh, okay.
apparently sunglasses are coming off now.
Just
So you know, for
Oh,
you ladies, it was the first official week back at school, correct?
Yeah.
Students came back.
Yep.
Students came back. So official. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know,
You're right. Yeah,
Rugrats, ankle biters,
It
stinky
was-
britches. They're all back.
It was not too
STDs.
bad.
I love my
STDs.
class.
Thank goodness there's none of those. Do you?
I do. They are the cutest things ever. I just love them.
I had a fun week. It's just been exhausting.
Yeah,
It's
I was
been,
exhausted.
I think I've pulled like 14-hour, 15-hour days
Oh,
most days this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's leaving the house at 7 and getting home, I think,
At
7
7.
o'clock most, and then working until 10:30.
And
Except for
passing
the
out on
one
the
night.
couch.
The one night I fell asleep with the laptop on my
Yep.
lap.
Yeah, that was like I'm gonna get
Damn.
gone.
That narcolepsy hit.
But my amazing hubby one night had the whole back porch set up for me so I could go outside and work the whole time.
was
Did you
nice
fall?
out
That's
that
the
night
night you
too.
fell asleep?
No,
No.
she
Oh,
did it
okay.
inside. It was like the night after.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was nice out that night.
It
so-
Oh yeah, I had to
was.
cover everything up the next night because we were supposed to get more rain, or we
Yeah.
got more rain like the
Yep.
next morning, and I was like, damn
It
it.
was kind of nice just to be out there by myself. Just
doing your
He
thing.
came
So
out.
people don't realize all the prep work that teachers have to do,
oh god.
like just for one day of class.
Oh.
Real,
And then to
yeah,
do that times 5.
Yep.
my appreciation over the last 2 years has grown significantly. I know I've said something like this before in the past,
Yeah, you have.
but what that you guys go through to
Insanity.
do what you do is you're right, it's absolutely insane. the amount of time you sacrifice from your friends and family is ridiculous.
Made me sad today. Like yesterday, I think it was when Michaela was like, "I've missed you. Like I haven't gotten to talk to you all week," and I'm like, "I know."
True.
Dude,
Well, we had such a close summer.
Yeah.
I mean, you and the kids specifically.
Oh my
and then
gosh, yeah.
We
All
spent
the
a lot
stuff
of
we did.
time together.
We did,
Yeah.
and it's been
Yeah.
a great summer. But it was
Yeah.
hard. She was like,
I
Yeah,
don't
and
wanna
it's
leave.
and it's really like this hard stop, you know.
Like literally, you just
Uh,
go.
Alley Cat went back to school, so that changed everything. We got back into the groove of our
The
morning
routine.
Yep.
our morning Wawa stops.
and we just came to the realization this morning that now that she passed her driver's test,
She can really take herself.
he won't have
Wait,
his
she
Yeah.
didn't
daughter
say
time.
anything.
I didn't want to ask.
Oh,
she
she passed.
I didn't want to say
Yay.
anything.
Yep.
Oh.
So
Pass
it's
first
like-
try. I think she's the first Phillips to pass first try.
She,
Oh, okay.
She
We're just gonna
is.
put that out there.
She is.
Nathan and Michaela.
She don't care.
She does not care.
She has
so-
no embarrassment
Michaela doesn't
factor.
care.
She's like, whatever. Yeah. I
But
can
yeah,
do
I'm
this.
proud of her. That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool. It was good to get that. She immediately did a dig on her brother
Yep.
before even saying that she passed. So that was funny, but not
Nate,
funny.
buddy, you do you.
Nate, you're awesome.
You'll
We'll
get
still
it
love
eventually.
You have other strengths.
We accomplished a goal this week, that we had been talking about for over a year, and that was me picking her up from school on the motorcycle.
Oh.
So
she,
you picked her up.
yeah, Friday.
I love that.
How
Right.
cool was that?
Oh, she loved it. I loved it. It was good to get the bike out and ride a little bit,
Stretch that her legs.
And she
a
got
little bit.
super comfortable this go round.
That's
Because the first time, like, that was back in North Carolina. The first time she rode,
Mhm.
she was like a leech.
No, it's you got to be real
You
vulnerable.
have one of those
back
crotch
there.
rockets too. Like that thing is it's not like sitting in like a luxury liner. Like
Well, I know, but the first time she was latched on, and then this time
Mhm.
she latched on it first, and then she finally, we were cruising down, and she sat up and kind of loosened her grip, and was like,
Yep.
all right, cool.
That's
I was
good.
like, I'm good
That's
with
a
it.
Exercise and trust, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So it was good to get to do that. So let's get into it. Like old Frank Sinatra said, regrets. I've had a few.
oh, look at you,
Oh,
snazzy
yeah.
with the lead
By the way, before we
in.
go, don't take that off. I put that on
What
there.
is my little friend?
I put him on there as a
Curious.
distraction, and you keep staring at him, and it's hilarious because you almost go cross-eyed every time you look at
Well,
him.
it worked.
What
I-
is he?
I'm distracted.
He's a bookmark.
Yeah.
Why
and
is he curved?
He's a light footmark.
and he's a light also.
Yeah.
oh.
If you
so-
turn it on, you're going to blind
Is that
yourself.
Alicia's?
She says it's not. You push it. You were on the right
I
side.
think
Just
it's
push it the other way.
Alicia's.
Oh, because the bookmark thing.
No,
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
just push.
Push it real good.
Slide it. I'm
Push
sorry,
it real
slide
good.
it. You were see your middle finger's on the actual control.
Lad.
You're gonna go blind.
Never mind.
Okay.
Let's, you got it once. That's good.
I need to name him.
We will get to that.
You know what? Let's put it out there for the listeners. Comment this week. You guys should probably be able to see Mr. Worm.
That's
Catter.
really cute.
Give us some name suggestions. We'd love to get some feedback on that.
He's
So we're
unnamed.
talking about regrets. It's not it's just a general subject. You can take it whatever way you want to go with
Okay.
It doesn't have to be, I regret getting up this morning.
Yeah.
It can you
Take-
can
Take it easy.
go back in the annals of history, and
Go
go
into
from
the
there.
files.
So who wants to kick it off?
Check your Rolodex.
well, since it was my topic.
You want to
first.
kick it off?
Yeah, y'all have to start coming up with some topics, people.
Okay.
What?
I think I did some topics.
Yeah, my last two were like, we've got to go funny after these, So
Well, I mean, I don't regret that. I don't regret. the
Oh.
topics.
choose
Let's
the
see how
R
many
word.
times
Were-
we can work
Look
They
at
were
that
that.
word
deep
into-
topics, but we were getting real serious there for a while.
Yeah, we
I mean,
were.
I think sometimes you need to have a serious
And
talk.
we said we would, so I think we got to constantly kind of go back and forth. I just thought this would be
That's
fun
cool.
because we know each other really well, but I don't know if we necessarily like. I've always lived by the mantra that I don't have regrets in life.
Yeah.
Because every choice you've made
You
has
made.
brought you to where you are,
I'll get that. Yeah.
right?
And I thought that too when I was kind of coming
Yeah.
up with my.
Like a lot of people think that I would regret my marriage because it was so freaking tumultuous and toxic and
Yeah.
terrible. But like I'll never regret it because I wouldn't have the kids.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
can't even regret how long I stayed because I literally stayed long enough to have Alicia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yep.
Yeah. You're like, hey, thanks.
served my purpose.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
in that word and saying what regrets do you have. That's a tough one. It really is a tough one
Because you have to really think about.
yeah, because you really have to step back and go.
Can you really call it that?
Yeah, because it's like if this would not have happened, or if I would not have done this, or if I would not have stayed here this long, I potentially would not be where I am now.
We got to come up with another word to
This
replace
one-
regrets. It has a
This
negative
regret
connotation.
that I have is not something that is a life altering, but
Well,
it is
mine,
a regret.
mine I do consider like my first one and my biggest one would be the lifestyle choices I made like in college. Like I do have regrets about the partying I did and
Really?
the impact it had on my long-term weight and health.
Okay.
Does
I
that
would
make
agree.
sense?
Yeah.
Like
It does.
like-
There's something like that similar on my list.
Mine
like
too.
I've taken a lot of time to think about like how I got to where I am, and it started truly because I never had a weight problem all through my life until I got to my senior year of college, and I was partying my ass off 6 days a week, eating terrible, which I don't I mean, and I wasn't in a sport. I wasn't active and I wasn't physical, like doing the things that I always did. Like I usually I would, drink a little bit. Well, I would drink during the school year and eat bad, but then I'd go home every summer and I'd work my ass off at the gym and I would burn off everything I gained, go back to school starting fresh. And that senior year, I moved straight down here and continued that party phase.
Right. It's hard to have regrets in the moment.
It
Yeah,
is.
And
it's true.
It doesn't. If
You don't
if
think
it worked
about
like
it.
that,
No.
you'd stop in your
No.
tracks.
You don't
but
think
it
about
doesn't
it.
work
Well,
like that.
when I think that's something that when we're all younger, we a lot of times we don't have the ability to recognize the consequences or
The
not
long
consequences,
term.
the repercussions of
Yeah.
that immediate decision.
Yeah.
So
And it was hard because like you always think I'll have time or I'll get to it later, but like we talked about, like I partied my butt off, and then when I started to calm down on the partying phase, I then got married, and I was in a toxic relationship where I was compensating with food and not making myself a priority. And then when I did, I told you this, like he actually preferred me fat because I was less of a threat of cheating, which I would never
Yeah.
would have done anyway, but I was less of a threat of someone taking me or stealing me. So he wanted me heavy. So to like save the marriage and kind of keep the peace, I put weight back on that I had lost. And then when the marriage was over, it was my world became all about taking care of the babies. And like
yeah.
myself went so bottom of the barrel
Well,
of
just
priorities.
so you know, before we jump, you go further. You did an amazing job.
I know that, but I really
did.
should have made myself a priority at least a little bit
Yeah,
more.
But I mean, like when you're
In the
someone's
moment?
parent, when you're someone's parent, it's hard to prioritize yourself.
and
and if
Yeah.
you do it too well, that's also a hit on you.
Right,
Well,
right.
and-
So I need a balance.
Well, and you
I need the
the
balance.
thing is,
Yeah.
and you both can appreciate this. Your focus drifts away from yourself,
Yeah.
and it's all about the kids. It's all about what do I need to do for the kids. Even in your career,
Yeah.
you're thinking about this job is good to me,
Because
but
I'll have more money for the
yeah,
kids.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
so like that's probably a regret I have is obviously like you can't things I would have done differently if I could go back in time.
I think we need to
100%.
start saying it like that.
yeah.
Things I would have done differently.
Had I known what I
Yeah.
know
There you
now.
go. Yeah, I
think
like that.
I
Yeah.
like that
yeah,
too.
because I would have absolutely listened to my parents and been like, this lifestyle is gonna come back to haunt me eventually.
Nobody listens to their parents until they're like 40.
But mine
you
was
know,
exactly
so
like
that is definitely one of my would have done differently had I
Gotcha.
known what I know now.
So Megs, you said yours was a regret, but it wasn't like this deep, dark, life-altering kind
yeah.
of deal.
This is just silly, but I also want to piggyback off on that. Like mine wasn't in college because I danced 7 days a week, but as soon as I moved down here and started teaching,
So Virginia's the
I
common
literally
denominator.
teaching is the cause. I was like, I didn't even know. Like I was like,
Thank
I have
you.
to work out. Like I didn't even know that my body type was like that because I was so
you always
fit.
just did it as
I
an
just-
athlete.
I was
right.
just an athlete, and I was just I partied my ass off, ate lots of pizza and pasta, and didn't couldn't care less. But then I moved down to Virginia and I continued that, and I'm like, hey,
What's happening?
Something's not
my
right.
ass is getting bigger, and I don't
think
know
my butt's
why.
getting big. Oh,
So then I joined the gym, but anyway.
It's so hard. Like, I mean, we've lived together for 15 years.
Yes, we have.
And how many times have we gone through that trend? Like, oh, it's a snow day. We have the day off. We have time to go to the gym. Let's make it a priority.
Or let's go on the weird military diet.
Like, we have done so much crap.
Oh, we all have to sit down and watch that documentary.
We should.
We've got to get some clarification for that one.
Yeah. He likes to get my...
But we've done, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, we've done
okay.
some
You'll
stuff.
have
We've
to
done-
share what that is afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple for you. Oh, we
right.
got the one about the
Oh.
one child thing. Oh my gosh.
The China One Child Law, you got to watch that documentary on
Mhm.
Netflix. That is
I do wanna watch
depressing.
that, but
It's so sad.
I'm going to plug Down for Love, or Down with Love, with
Down
the
with love.
Down syndrome kids that are.
Oh, I saw
not
that.
kids,
Yeah,
but like
that popped up and I was like, oh, we're watching that.
so cute.
We
I only
love our
watched
love on the
first
spectrum,
two.
so we'll of course love
Yeah.
this one.
Anyway, all right. So my silly
Salute.
regret is I was studying abroad in the Netherlands, in Maastricht, Netherlands, which is in the very bottom of the Netherlands between Belgium and Germany. And so we went out for something and we had some drinks and whatever. And I was like, we're really hungry. So I go and get a pizza from this pizza place, this local pizza place, not thinking anything of it. They have brownies, pot's legal, whatever.
Oh.
You know the story. So
Mhm.
anyway, so
You're in the, yeah, it just hit that you were in the Netherlands.
yeah.
Okay, I'm with you now.
So me
Connections
being
made.
naive apparently, but I'm like 22 or 21 years
That
old,
doesn't mean
whatever.
you're not
But
naive.
anyway, I'm like, I love mushrooms. I do. So I said, can I have a mushroom?
Just so everyone knows when this posts up, my hand gestures are for her to move the hell away from the microphone. I love my wife to death,
And
but
also, his eyes get really
Yes,
red.
he's
It's
like-
not just the
he's
hand.
her laugh like blows out the compression. So that's what I don't have Tourette's.
You're not trying to
might.
threaten to hit me.
No, not trying to threaten to hit her either.
Go ahead.
Oh,
So you
sorry.
put mushrooms on
On
your
So
your
I
pizza.
said, can I have a mushroom pizza? And the guy's like, yeah, of course, blah, blah, blah. So I eat the mushroom pizza, and it's like a personal pan pizza, but it's pretty large, but I was starving. So everyone else gets their
Wonder
pizza.
why you're starving.
Well, I was
That was before that.
That was before that. So we're walking across this bridge. Like, if you've ever been to Maastricht, Netherlands, it's like Neverland. It's beautiful. It's like the most prettiest place. And there's like wheels of the pinwheel, what?
Me? Oh.
Her.
Oh, me. Sorry. Okay. So anyway,
We're still learning, folks.
I know. I don't like to eat the mic, but but
It's not what Steve said.
Oh!
sorry, baby.
Steve, you can come over and smoke that cigar anytime, brother.
So anyway, we're walking across this bridge, and there's these birds on this bridge. Well, I am chasing these birds. I start
You
chasing
what?
them. I start chasing them. I'm like, birds, come here. And I'm like chasing the birds, and my friends are cracking up. They're like,
I
what
would
the
have
heck is wrong with
paid
you?
to see that.
I would die to
You
see
were
that.
tripping
hang
on
on.
shrooms.
So
Tripping
we get
balls.
to the what is it called? The windmill.
You weren't even like smoking pot. You like
you were
ate-
tripping.
You took a
I
psychedelic.
ate-
Yeah, you
okay,
took a
so yes.
psychedelic.
So the windmill is like an old-fashioned windmill, right? So I
don't
go over
even
to
know what a
this
new
windmill.
Hey,
fashioned
just so you
looks
know,
like.
they still call them windmills.
Like,
yes.
It's
but
just
it's
a
those
windmill.
metal ones.
What's a new
The
fashion
new-
windmill?
The metal ones
Have
that
you
are out,
seen
like, in
those?
Texas?
Those
You
are
know,
windmills too?
we call those a joke.
No.
Okay. Well, New York has them all over the place. Trust me.
I
I'm
know.
like, oh boy. But anyway, so the windmill's going round and round, and
In the
there's
snow, they work amazing.
they do. Yeah, they're great. They're just
Yeah,
fantastic.
I am like
Sorry,
Where?
I am this far away from bringing up the book that I'm reading,
No,
and you keep
no.
keep tempting me.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna finish real quick. I promise. So
No,
anyway,
take your time. These two will just continuously interrupt.
Well, I'm just gonna look off
I'm-
into the sunset.
I'm invested.
So,
Go ahead.
so the windmill is going on, and the guy pops his head out above, like there's a little window in between like the things. And I
No.
was like, so
Does he have an accent?
he's
You
got
got to say this in the accent.
cute little Dutch accent. He's so cute, and he's a little old man, and I was like, hey, can I come up there? And he's like, yeah. He's like, sure you can. I go up there. I am with him. There are pictures of me like loving on him. We're like this. Going
What,
like, we're like this.
girl?
We're like, this is the best. And then after that, I got back to the room and I was talking to Oprah on the TV.
Bitch. You really was tripping.
Did
I
she,
said-
Besties.
And
did she
Oprah,
answer you
she
back?
was answering me
Oh,
back.
you were tripping balls.
Wow.
I mean, you were
you
tripping
picked a
balls.
good one.
So
I mean, if you go trip,
my friend Melissa was
trip
like,
with Oprah.
"Are you okay?" And she's like,
Do you
"You."
think? Oh, I
are
bet you
high.
Oprah has gotten high.
You know,
Right,
But it was an accident, and I never, ever have done drugs ever in my life, except for that one time, and I did not know. And then they're like, "Do you want a space brownie?" And of course I said yes, because I was hungry. So it was high and on
Oh, so you were
mushrooms.
double high.
you just amplified it.
Oh my gosh! And I slept for like 10 hours,
You
12
Oh.
sure
hours.
you did.
You
You went to that.
you know what?
deep sleep.
I'm gonna help you out on this one. So there was
Tear.
one time that
Yay
I
plants.
tried LSD.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me you have tried it.
Oh yeah,
What did you know you were trying?
yeah, I absolutely.
On like a
Now mushrooms,
Meg-
no, you didn't. I just didn't. I just felt weird. Like I just felt kind of like, whoa, this is so much fun. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it was like
Wow.
things were
LSD is
spinning.
a lot different.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you didn't bust into like.
We almost
song
had
and
an
Oh, I
dance.
was
accident.
singing.
Oh, okay,
You,
perfect.
you
On the
gotta,
roof.
you know,
So I do know you.
you know,
Yeah,
mi-
yes, you do.
you know what? Mind your boobs.
What's wrong with her
I-
boobs?
I
She-
can't put
she,
them
like-
anywhere else.
She like kicked the mic over, almost knocked her
I'm so
drink over.
sorry.
Oh, she's
All
okay.
right, go
We
ahead.
should do a drunk episode.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
I,
fun.
I'm pretty sure
We're
everyone now is
always
like
nearly
thinks
drunk.
we're drunk right now.
We're not drunk. I've drank like a half
Half a
of
can.
this.
So, two beers in this.
Cheers.
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 So, Megs, I'll, you know, I know there's more regrets. I regret this, and I don't regret it because it was a learning moment, and it was the one time that I tried LSD.
All right.
Um,
Get into it.
Getting ready to leave government service, and
Oh, good timestamp.
yeah,
Good timestamp.
That sounds fun.
and buddy of mine who was in government service.
Also getting out.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got you.
sure,
I got
yeah,
you,
yeah,
pal. I got you, buddy.
I think that's a no.
yeah.
I
But
think you were both
gave me
getting out.
one tab, and like a little tab is like it's tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's itty bitty.
Like teeny tiny.
Oh yeah, it's like
Like a confetti speck.
it's like a quarter inch or like eighth of an inch square.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped it up in foil, went home
Oh my God, I
for the
remember
weekend.
this story.
Never done this before. You know, I've smoked weed. You know, I profess to that. I'm not ashamed of it, but I'd never tried LSD. So get home. At the time, I had moved my family back home from Lejeune.
Lejeune.
Yeah, no, shut up. And they were living with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went home on the weekend,
I have to get a break.
I was with my parents, you know. So back home, and I grabbed this. I'm like, you know, I'm just testing the waters.
Of course.
Take this tab that's like 1/8 inch square and tear like a corner off of it. So a quarter.
Isn't that what the guy told you to do? He told you not to take the whole thing at first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to be that.
took a
guy.
quarter of it, waited like 45 minutes, nothing. I'm like, this is junk. So grabbed another
Rookie
quarter
mistake.
Oh no.
and took that quarter, waited like another half hour, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
And I was getting frustrated at this point. I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be something
You're like,
special.
I need to be tripping balls
Yeah,
right
I'm like,
now.
so I grabbed the half that I had, and I was like, screw it.
Bro.
Took it. Within 30 seconds of taking it, like that first quarter started to hit, and I was like, oh shit. I
Your
was like,
pupils dilated.
oh, it was,
along with your butthole, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like, I almost had lockjaw
Oh no.
because I was just like the smile was like
Oh my-
so
That
ridiculous.
was a dead giveaway. Your family wasn't like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But
He's
I
so happy to be home.
went downstairs like, I'm hungry. Made macaroni and cheese in like this giant bowl. Got it done, mixed it all up. Everybody's like in the living room watching TV. I'm like, I grabbed the whole bowl.
You're like, that's
I didn't
for
go
the
get it.
family.
I didn't like get a bowl and like scoop some in there. Took the whole bowl with the wooden spoon.
It was like,
And just ate it.
Sat down in the living room, was hugging it like I was Yogi Bear with a picnic basket.
A picnic basket.
A picnic.
And I was just shoveling it in my mouth with
Aw.
this wooden spoon. and no one was the
The
wiser.
family wasn't like, bruh.
No.
He
Nobody
must
said,
get
I mean-
hungry being a Marine.
yeah.
I know.
But I mean,
Starters.
everyone knew I was strange. But
Sometimes they didn't know.
I did not sleep that night. My body was so sensitive
It was like amped.
to
Oh.
anything.
Could you feel your hairs on your arm?
Oh yeah, the sheets
Oh.
touched. I'm like, I laid in bed. I swear to you, in the position of attention all night and like this. Eyes never closed.
I feel like,
I went back after that. I was like, screw you. That shit is evil. I was like, never again.
Better instructions next time.
I was telling
Ugh.
him, this is
Ugh.
totally off topic, but it's about LSD. Like my roommates in college, several of them like loved. They didn't do it all the time, but they did it pretty frequently. And I have never done any, never had anything consumed anything besides alcohol in my life. So I come home from the bar one night and I'm pretty drunk, and I knew that like 2 or 3 of my roommates were gonna be tripping that night. But I don't know what it's like. I have never done it. So I'm like, and my one roommate was like hiding under a blanket,
Wow.
like in the fetal position, like in the dark. And I was like drunk and being an asshole. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're so weird. And I like grab a cup of water and I rip that blanket up and I toss it on her.
Wow, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I was fucking around
This
and having fun.
is T-Bone we're talking about though.
Yeah.
I was having fun and thought I was fucking with my roommate, and I had no idea the mental state that would put her in. And she lost her mind.
She thought she was drowning.
yeah.
She legit did. She was
She was
going
Rose.
nuts.
She was Rose on the Titanic. It's going down.
Oh.
And I was like, what in the world is this shit?
And I've heard some crazy stories about that. And it was like, you hear I mean, I had heard crazy stories before I
Right.
tried it, but it was like,
Before
Yeah,
you
I'm-
created your own.
I'm a risk taker, but
Jeez.
it was like, and I will stick to herbal
Never
remedies.
again.
But it was crazy. I'll tell you, I got an herbal remedy Friday night.
Oh, at the concert.
Oh.
I will say, and we will tag.
Secondhand.
Yeah, we will tag you in the post. Jelly Roll, he puts on
How
a
was that?
heck of a concert. Amazing. It really was a.
I really thought he would be. 'Cause
It was a
his
great
songs are
show.
great.
I completely underestimated the draw of Jelly Roll. There were almost 23,000 people there.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It was insane.
All
but-
walks of life, he said.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he's very soulful. Very soul. Like,
And he
I
has a
love-
huge range of followers because of how he started.
The
versus, like,
mix of people
Yeah.
there was eclectic. The-
Right,
the-
good for him.
it was wild. I mean, it really was crazy. But the amount of marijuana being smoked was insanity.
God
From
bless
the-
the plants.
From the time we parked the car
God bless the plant.
until we got back in the car to leave, that's all you smelled. I'm
Oh,
like,
sure.
everyone here is smoking weed except us.
Well, technically, you were too.
But yeah,
Technically, yes.
but we were sitting there, and luckily we hooked up with some good friends. T-Bone, texted me and said that Big Bear and his wife were there at the concert, linked up with them, so we ended up hanging out in the Bud Light Pavilion.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Big Bear. That was awesome. Really appreciate it. We had a blast. But we're up there like leaning on the rail, and like Jelly Roll comes out, and it's like first song, and I'm like, what the? I'm
Blown
like,
away by it.
I was just like,
blown away by the puff of smoke. that
Yeah.
came-
Oh,
I was like, did everyone in this
that's
place
Steve
light a
was
joint
about.
at the same time? I'm like, this
It
is
was-
overwhelming.
it was probably coordinated.
No, and we're sitting there because we're leaning on the rail in the back of the pavilion or
Mhm.
the party deck, whatever. And I turn around and look, and this couple, they are puffing on this
They're hot
joint
boxing.
like it is the last piece of marijuana on the planet.
It probably was their last.
And I was just like, calm down. I think everyone has more. And if
you
you
could probably ask.
and if you just ask, they're gonna be like, sure,
Sharing,
yeah.
They're
sharing,
generous
sharing
people.
is
You can-
caring.
Sharing is caring.
But when we got there, I mean, we got there like hour and a half before the opening act even went on,
Oh, okay.
and we're walking up. We're,
Who opened for him? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
I
It
know.
was the scooter.
No.
Oh.
He didn't open. There was another guy. He opened, but he was kind of the MC-ish kind of dude. I can't remember his name. I could go back and look. But then Struggle Jennings was there, and okay, and then Ashley McBride, and she was really good.
She's there a lot.
Yeah, but we got there early. I mean, and there was already a ton of people on the lawn, but you get up towards the top, and it's pretty sparse.
Yeah.
And we're just walking, and there was this older couple. I would say they were in their 50s, maybe late 50s. Had their blanket out, they're chilling, and they had the biggest blunt. It's like they took like one of the Black and Milds,
Mm-hmm.
and
They like what they
still had the wood filter mouthpiece on it, but took everything out of it. It was a flute.
It was a recorder.
I was like, was it like a flute? A recorder? Yep.
That's the size.
And
A flute
T
phone.
was like, well, maybe it was just a cigar. I'm like, no.
Nah.
I'm like,
I was trying.
I was like, dude was toking on it so hard, and you know how you hold it?
I don't
You-
know personally.
You cup it.
Yeah.
He cupped it, and he was like, handing it to his wife. I'm like, damn.
No fucks
And-
given.
And Pick looks over at me. He's like, it's legal. And I was like, yeah, but damn. I'm
Hey,
like,
I've never seen
this is my space.
but it was crazy. And I know that's a complete tangent on
Oh,
what we
yeah,
were talking
but
about,
it
but
works.
that's
We
what today's
never do
about.
that.
No,
We never
very
get
serious.
off topic.
So if you guys happen to go back and listen to any of our episodes that are not recorded after you watch this on YouTube,
You see how it goes.
never a tangent.
Never.
Stay on topic.
Always. Sometimes it
So
be
D,
like that.
regrets. We're back on topic.
Things you would do differently.
Things that you would do
Things
differently.
you would do differently.
Man, like y'all got great stories, and my shit's all serious.
Go ahead.
Get
Okay.
serious. Believe me, I'll fix it.
I can have a serious one too.
Let me get
The
my
serious-
notes
the
open
serious
for
one.
you.
Fun was serious.
Yeah.
So,
I
Tracy,
piggyback off
I
of yours
regret
too.
being a fat cow.
T-
I thought it
T-Bone,
was very
T-Bone.
serious.
My
you're not.
first one is kind of like with yours.
I piggyback off
Okay.
yours too.
So I regret not maintaining my health because I was in the Army and I
Yeah.
found a picture of myself where I went to a concert at the Lakewood, or what was it, the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was an all-day concert. I had on a sports bra
Oh.
and
90s
cargo
fashion.
and cargo shorts.
You can, I
See?
can
I'm
do
just
it
gonna
really well.
bring it to her.
And you could see like my muscles. I had a six-pack. My thighs were like chunky, and I was flexing next to a guy that was wearing like a Superman shirt.
Yeah.
I look at that picture like every once in a while. I'll bust it out, and I'm like, "Where did you go, bitch? Why didn't
Where
you
are
work
you?"
harder
Yeah.
to stick around?" like,
Why'd you leave me?
like,
know.
like
I know.
that. That D-Lo did not have knee problems.
We can
And
we
so I
we can
went-
talk about that documentary right now if you want to. Just kidding.
Oh,
I
don't-
mean, I would probably
I
still have the knee problems
wish.
because I've injured my knees
Me
so
too.
many
Oh, yeah.
times
Same.
from sports. So I can't say that I wouldn't have the knee problems, but absolutely weight. They say what 5 pounds of weight is
Yeah.
like a 20-pound pressure on,
your knees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
you think about what my knees are putting up with. It's insane.
Like just your boobs.
See, now
You're welcome.
they're about
Okay.
40 pounds apiece.
Yep.
I know
And you know
every
what-
girl has weighed them. Don't
Do you
lie.
know when it really hit me though? Remember when COVID hit and we were working out all the time, and I was beasting it, and I
We
was
had to say that word,
losing weight.
COVID.
It's
I
the
can
fiber. It's in
remember
the fiber
like
now.
having lost I lost like the first like 20 pounds, and right around that same time I needed to up my weight, like doing the stairs and everything. So I started carrying the weights to do the
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah. I think
And
I
I
worked
was-
out with you guys once, and I was like, "Fuck this."
And I was carrying the weight, and
I
I
think
was
you
like,
said the same thing when
wow.
the chimney rock.
the
That's right. You are
difference
correct, sir.
in doing the stairs without the weight versus with the 20-pound weight was pretty significant. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, holy shit, like this is 20 pounds. This is what I just took off.
Mhm.
This is how heavy it is.
Yeah.
It was really kind of
You made
playing
the
with my
connection.
mind. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Hey,
it's
did you ever
crazy.
find that vest for me?
Oh no, I forgot about that.
I didn't.
Okay.
Well, you better find it.
Let me drop
You
that in
better
my
find
notes.
Your husband is like, I remember to give you a charger
I
every time we
know.
record.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
I
I'm
take
failing.
care of you.
Oh,
I'm gonna slide down to the third position.
All I ask for is a vest.
I know.
No, you're second.
Fail. But
Demoted in status.
but the thing about that is like I don't have like the reality of maintaining that body versus maintaining that health. Like I'm aware of that. That body's gone.
Right.
oh yeah,
but
I think
yes.
we're
The
all
health
aware of that.
factor
The
is-
health
yeah.
factor is
It's
what
the health, yeah.
I
I
got to.
could have done differently.
Well, I think there's not a person in this room right now that does not feel the same way.
There's people that like they maintain that shit. They have the discipline and they're like
Yeah.
in their 80s and they're lean and they're fucking in
Like the
triathlon.
lady
That
the other night.
couple of the
The other night.
I want to be that
89-year-old lady.
couple.
You saw the videos.
I did.
That man was moving.
and the
Jealous.
little lady was too.
So jealous.
She was so
I
cute.
want to be them, but I gotta get there.
They had more
Me
energy than
too.
our whole group put together. And
Yeah,
they
it's-
were dropping it low. They were twerking.
You know why? Because you were missing person.
Wait, what?
The energy
because
god.
he wasn't there, our energy
I know.
was lacking.
I just didn't want to acknowledge
Uh,
that.
Don't worry, it's been forced on you now.
I know. How dare you?
So
As
we
if
do.
we can't have fun without him.
We tried.
No,
we
that's-
tried.
It was fun.
We're
mean,
very capable.
I mean, I bailed out on everybody last night, so
I survived.
Oh yeah, I showed up
okay,
and I
though.
was like, what happened?
He had to go.
no, it was just like it was a girls' night. I just wasn't there, and I was like, this is I have the conversation was going. I was like, I have nothing to contribute here.
You're like, I'm
You know,
gonna
I was
go.
like-
I'm gonna exit.
He's like, I'm out.
Going home.
I
and
came home, just sat upstairs and read for like an hour and a half.
some
yeah.
Al Bundy activity. Sat.
Well, I don't think Al
That's a-
read.
That's a
I think Al was watching
No,
TV.
no,
he wasn't
no.
reading.
Had his hands down his pants.
Drinking
I was
beer.
reading the
Yeah.
book.
That's where I
Yeah.
was going.
There was a drink up there, and I was reading a book that I have to debrief with Pop on
Okay.
here soon,
Serious.
and he's gonna be like, "You just as angry as I am?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Mm.
I am," but we won't go there. So
What's one of your regrets?
I don't-
Regrets. What would
What?
you do differently?
get into the mic.
One of your do differently.
That's a tough one, just because of what we kind of premised it with before of if this would not have happened, if I would not have made this decision or gone this direction, I wouldn't be where I am now. I mean, I know for a fact, and you and I have had this conversation, that if life wouldn't have gone, if my life would have gone differently, and everything happened that happened and so on and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a very high percentage chance that you and I never would have met.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. I would.
But don't you sometimes wish you would have stayed in longer?
Yeah, I mean that is things that I believe I would have done differently was stayed in the core. I know I could have
Right.
and made a career out of it. I mean, that was my thought process. I mean, I mean,
And you love it. I mean, you
Yeah.
I mean
love
that.
yeah.
Not
I
for
mean,
nothing, but that's
it-
on my list.
yeah. I mean, if you can see behind here, there's
it's something that's you're very passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely 100%, love the Marine Corps. I have zero negative feelings, or thoughts about the Marine
Mhm.
Corps. It's it's one of those things. It's like, if you're not there, if you haven't done it, you can sit there and go, I understand it. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
You can.
It's different.
Sympathize.
Yeah.
You can
I could sit there
empathize.
and get into a freaking verbal argument and almost go to blows with somebody and be like, were you in the Corps? And they're like, yeah. It's over. It's like that whole verbal, it's like, that's my brother. Or that's
That's-
my sister at that point.
It
Yeah.
goes like that.
So, but yeah, I do, I know I could have done better. I should have, been striving for more, and I got complacent, and then I got sick, and it was like, well, you have this,
Right.
and so we're gonna boot you out. And there were other factors, and it was like, okay, but at the same time, if that would not have happened,
Right.
You know,
Who knows what course your life will
yeah,
take.
I mean, 100% guarantee, you know, I wouldn't be where I am right now in my career.
Absolutely.
There are definitely other things that I would have done differently. 100%. One of the biggest ones is the relationship with my oldest son.
Mm.
You know, just to have, it was very rash, you know, the decision making at the time. And looking back on that, you know, and having that ability to step back and, you know, and put yourself in a different position, the rashness, the snap, how harsh it was. And, you know, I know he was harsh also, and he recognizes and has accepted that.
But you both have
You guys
owned
have
your parts.
reconciled?
Well,
Oh yeah.
But, you
Yeah.
know, it's very, it's one of those things that we both know that there was fault on both sides.
But and also he's a father now,
Yes.
and so that helps.
Yeah, it does. But even growing up a little bit, it has been one of the changing moments. But, you know, things I would have done differently is how I approached that entire situation. I was a very amplified person at that time. You know, when I was younger and gotten out of the Corps, and I was working full time, you know, I found an outlet, you know, for that anger and that tension, you know, by being a bouncer.
Yeah.
And I loved it because I knew when I was initially a bouncer, it was rare, but it happened. So I mean,
You're like, let me get
but-
some knuckleheads
Yeah,
tonight.
Let's go.
Let me get some knuckleheads up in here.
I mean, you know, and not sadly, but strangely, it was a fix. It was a drug,
Yeah.
you know, and
I can see
and,
how that happens.
and violence was a fix, you know, for that.
I mean, well, if you are in the Marine Corps and they say your job is to be violent,
Yeah.
and then they make you motherfucking excellent at it,
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do with yourself when they're like, yeah, you're cut, hit the showers? Like,
But
you can't turn that off.
No, but it was weird for me because the initial bouncing job was at a nightclub, and you get some stuff, but 95% of the incidents that happen at a nightclub, people back down pretty quick.
You're like, oh,
You know,
pussy.
yeah, exactly.
Come on, give me
Yep.
some. Give me
But
some.
That's true. Come on, be
I-
froggy.
I left there, and I was like, I don't want to quit doing this, but I was like, I need more. So
I need.
we lived
feel
in
the need.
we lived in Kernersville, North Carolina, and I went to bounce at a nightclub. It was a full nude strip club
Oh, there you go.
in
There it is.
in Winston-Salem, North
Which is why
Carolina.
he'll no longer go to strip clubs.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, North Carolina laws is if you can have a full nude strip club, but if you do, you cannot sell alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But as a patron
You can bring
of
it,
the
right?
facility, you can bring your own beer.
Okay.
It was guaranteed, especially when you get into North Carolina. It doesn't really matter what part of North Carolina you're in.
Or you can show up
There-
drunk too. And there's,
Yeah, but there's a ton of farmland, a lot of tobacco.
I'm afraid of where this is going.
No, and so you get into
Okay.
harvest season, and you get a lot of people who are just there seasonally who may have an accent when they
Oh,
speak.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
seeing the picture. You're
And
painting.
they would show up. I mean, most of the people show up and they're already hammered,
Yeah.
and it was a guarantee
Something
that
was
something was going to pop off,
And you're like,
and you're overjoyed about it. It was the tiny, just like the most trailer park size strip club on the planet. I mean, it was a crap hole, but
sometimes those are the
it was an
best
outlet.
ones.
So,
Sometimes those
but-
are the best ones. Just
but
so you know.
back to the you know, the topic at hand. You know, that is the one thing that I would potentially do differently, but at the same time, you know, if I would have done it differently, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Right. My mom used to say this all the time to just explain why things are how they are and to end the conversation. She said, man appoint, God disappoint. you always have plans for yourself, but you're never really in control
True.
of what happens. to you.
Yeah.
And I can hear it in her voice, in my head. She said it so much.
I was gonna say she said it over and over about getting
But
in your brain.
speaking of her,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, 10 years in the Army, planned for 20. At my 10-year mark, I got pregnant with Victoria. So I came to my mother, and I was like, hey, I'm on orders to Korea, and I can't bring my child with me overseas. Like, will you, take care of her? I'll give you power of attorney. I'll be gone for a year. And she was like, no.
okay.
And I was like, what? And she's like, I raised my babies.
I mean, yeah,
She's like,
I could see my parents being
no.
very similar.
My
But,
parents would say the same thing.
And then she
well, I
said-
could see
she
my
said-
my parents being completely opposite. But yep,
Really?
sure, no problem.
She said this to me,
No.
and
No, my
it
parents
was
were similar.
life altering. Mine was life altering. She said you can either be a good mother or you can be a good soldier, but you can't be both.
Ooh.
And I signed a fucking deck, declined those orders, and got separated from the Army. And that was how my life took a tangent.
Wow.
And
I
that's
didn't realize that was what was the
Yeah,
deciding
yeah,
never
factor.
knew
and
that.
that brought me home.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
That brought
Yeah.
me home.
Huh.
It was that exact conversation. And so while I wished that I could have retired from the Army, I have no regrets at my baby. I
Right, of
I
course.
got to be her mom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And I can't imagine.
I love
And
my
it's
little
not like
Tori.
your mom
If
was
they-
speaking out of not understanding because she.
No, she fucking understood.
Yeah,
She
Yeah, it wasn't a
understood.
lack of
She-
appreciation or
No.
a screw you. It
I
was
did
like
exactly what she wanted me to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't imagine. They would have formed a bond that I would not have been able to break.
Yeah.
I would have not been able to have Tori in the way that I had.
Do
her.
you think your
Yeah.
mom? I mean, I'm sure she did, because I don't think your mom ever did anything without.
forethought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Do you
deep-
think knowing her life and how that life was probably had its challenges, being married to a Marine and all of that, and basically being a Marine mom?
Yeah.
Do you think she purposely did that so that you would make that choice?
Oh, I absolutely feel like, she put it
because
out
she
there.
didn't want you to end up
Yeah.
being
She definitely put it out there in a way that I got it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I immediately got it.
Well-
And that kind of forced my hand. But, it brought me here. It brought me to you guys.
Right.
Tori
Yeah.
and I are so close.
Love my Toto.
I love
She's-
her too.
Love her.
She is everything.
Missy
Like,
girl could use a
she's
hug.
Totally my first love. Love her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, it's amazing how,
Oh, no,
how it all went down. But that
Sean's
I
my boy
don't have
though.
any regrets.
Right.
No. And I
but
don't
it
in
wasn't
the moment-
necessarily the course you set for yourself.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
it's
and
not.
that's the thing, and we can get into biblical thoughts and scripture and everything about it. Ultimately, we're not in control,
Right.
And we may look at things as regrets, or this didn't go right, or that didn't work out how I thought it was. But one of the things that even when I have those moments, when I sit down and pray, I go, Lord, thank you for everything you've given me and given us. Thank you for this amazing family and this path you've put us on. And in the back of my head, I'm going, I know it's not working out how I thought it would
Yeah.
or to my plan, but, then I have the ability to step back and go, I know this is your plan. I know you will continue to lead, and we will continue to follow.
I agree with that, but I also think he does give a
Meta
lot of
points,
free
God
will.
discipline.
Oh, of
And
course.
he gives you
Yeah.
the ability to make choices because
Yeah.
people can choose, and then that path.
Yeah.
I don't know. Things end up how they should be.
Right, and
Whether they're good
I
for
always
you or
tell the
bad for you.
kids, like I've always said, I mean, it's cheesy to relate it back to a Garth Brooks song, but unanswered prayers, I firmly believe that there's so many times that you get mad because something doesn't work out the way you want it to, and then later on you realize why it
Yeah.
didn't.
Unanswered prayers and broken road. God bless the broken road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Because
I
you
think about
like
that.
how, especially when you're. I always tell that to the kids, especially when they're young, and like relationships. Like, yes, you want it to work out. Yes, you broke up and you want to get back together.
Sure,
But
yeah.
like, there's a reason why you won't, and you'll move on.
Yeah, some people are in your life just to be a lesson.
You know,
It's
my
true.
my other probably. Did you want to say something? Sorry.
I will say this, and this is a potential cliffhanger, so we've got to hold on for this long now, okay? As of January 5th, 2025, I will have some amazing things to say about this. Until that time, stay tuned.
What the hell?
Did you hear that? You only got like a year and a half left.
Which really isn't that bad if you think about
I don't
it.
even appreciate what's happening right
That'll
now.
be like season 12.
I know.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
My only other, this is going to sound so cheesy, but it is truly and it is a regret. 100%.
Oh.
Okay.
I regret.
Saying I adore you.
It's so silly.
Why? I thought that's cute.
Come on.
I thought that was cute.
It was, but I had to rib her on that one.
Nothing ever shuts her up, and I appreciate
I
that.
think that's adorable.
Have I done it? I did it.
Look at her face.
I
Look
did it.
at her.
She's done.
Look at
now.
her.
She's done, folks.
Give me the
Done.
belt, ladies and gentlemen. Give me the belt.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
Oh.
think
I
the
love you.
response I knew.
All right.
Go on, Trace.
Please continue.
Before you were so rudely
T-bone.
Would you like to
interrupted.
turn your worm light on?
Oh, that's a weird sentence.
No, it will definitely blind you.
Turn on
Your
your
worm
worm lights. Let
Okay.
it shine
I'm
wherever
pretty sure we
you
got those from
go.
Barnes and Noble. That
Hey, that
and
is
the other one.
track 3 on Age White Cheddar's new album coming out soon. Turn on your worm light.
I feel like
Turn
it's like
on.
a penis.
That's
Your worm light.
It's
Okay.
it's implied.
PG.
Go ahead, T-Bone.
Little headlight on
Oh
your penis.
boy.
All right.
Can you not? Now I'm thinking of the angler fish.
Yeah.
He's a
And
little
those things
minor.
are ugly. Just
Ugh.
can you please go?
Go ahead.
He's the minor 69er.
You know how visual I am, and you're ruining my whole focus.
I might be cringing a little inside.
Bleh.
Did you imagine a little penis coming
No,
out with
no.
the light on?
No, I can't. Yes, I can.
There
I
you can.
don't- I actually am, and that's why I can't
I don't want
finish
a little
this.
like coming at me.
You don't want it coming
Oh.
at you?
You
no,
sure?
a penis.
Little
a
spitting
light.
viper.
No.
God.
Can we not, everybody?
But this is so silly and so cheesy, but it truly is like hits my heart whole. I
Bring
regret
this around, Tracy.
Please.
'cause these people.
quitting gymnastics.
Okay.
I know in my brain the way it happened was not the way it probably went down, and I'm sure my mother could probably confirm that. But I was a really talented, extremely skilled gymnast, and I was very advanced at a very young age and had so much potential. I was on like a team. I was only like 8 years old, and I was competitive, and I was training multiple days a week, and I loved it. I genuinely had such a passion for it. But I was going through like that phase of like, I'm 8. And when I go home
I
from
want to
school,
go
I wanna
be
play.
an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
and I'm sure in reality, it was a battle with my mother, like like you need to come home for practice. I don't want to come home, kind of thing. But in my brain, the only memory I have of what had happened was I literally can remember being at my friend Carrie Ann's house and calling my mom. And my mom called over and she was like, "You need to come home. We have gymnastics practice." And I was like, "I don't want to go. I want to stay and play." And she was like, "If you don't come home, I'm calling the gym and telling them you're quitting." And I was like, "Okay." And she called that afternoon.
Why,
that
you
Called
know,
your
is-
bluff.
What?
That
called
part
her
was true. And all of my uniforms, all of my
Yeah.
suit, like everything went back. And I was like,
Wow.
She wasn't about to put up with your shit.
and so
I mean,
and
that-
I'm sure prior to that afternoon it had been a struggle.
A build up.
But I just remember
I'm
being
sure.
like,
Because I
remember,
don't, it doesn't strike me like she is
"Oh,
an
my mother, no,
unreasonable
my mother is like that."
or
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, Linda, don't mess around.
Okay.
You want to be drama?
Sorry, Miss OG.
I'm done. And so that's why I said my mom would have done the same thing your mother did. Like, no,
My
I
mom
raised
would've
my
done
kids.
that
Like,
too.
I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
and-
do that.
And my mother was,
Emphatically.
completely, I won't say completely opposite. It was like, if you said you're going to do it and you start doing it, I will 100% get on board and support you.
Right.
When you're done, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
That's
just like-
different.
I mean,
Like,
I was like late
I'm like that.
bloomer, like into football and stuff like that. But my mother was like, as soon as football hit, it was like she was 100%
Oh, yeah.
involved.
Yeah,
You know,
That part,
and I
yeah.
know
like
your mother's
that
the
with-
same way, but
with
if
my
I would have
kids and
said,
their stuff.
I'm done, I'm walking away from this, it wouldn't have been. It would have been, are you sure? I'm like, yep, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of. I mean, she was just like,
I really like
and
that.
I just remember like time had passed a little bit of time. I don't remember how long. It was so long ago, but I just mean like, did you seriously like did I quit? And she was like, yeah, and I was like,
Why didn't you
And
put up
then my
any resistance?
pride was like, I can't believe that. I'm not gonna ask and beg to go back. Like, but
Yeah.
I to this day regret that. Like, I have such a passion for that sport. It's insane, and neither one of my children had any tried.
They're like, no.
tried to
Hey,
get
well,
Alicia
you,
into
Nah,
it.
you
that's
say
all you.
neither. You should say
No, she
neither of the
flirted with
three
all the
because
boys.
Nate could have been a gymnast also.
Nate was a taekwondo guy.
Taekwondo.
Michaela
Which
loved
is
doing
gymnastics.
gymnastics, but she was just too dang
Oh,
tall.
he's gonna disagree with you.
I know he will.
Alicia
I'm hoping
had
I get a
all
text.
the
I
potential.
so hope I do.
he's gonna be like, what the fuck did
And
you
He's
do?
like, "What'd you say, Dad?"
Like to flutter around.
She'd be like,
She loved the leotards. Loved the booty shorts.
picked her up a
No,
couple
that's
times,
that's it.
and she'd be like,
Yeah, and she just wanted to flutter, and I'm like,
Hey.
I am not paying for these stupid lessons. for
Well, that's like
you.
That's
that-
on you.
That's like
That's on you.
Landon. Landon did gymnastics, and I love that boy so much. He is
Is
more.
there a butt?
He was more interested in flirting with the chicks
Oh.
than doing gymnastics.
Sir.
Him and him and
Well,
another girl, like the 1 year, I think he did it for like 2 years. They got
For
busted
the
and
chicks.
had to be separated because they were like trying to kiss. I'm like, dude, no,
At what age?
like 7.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like, dude,
Get your freak on.
calm it down. No, shut your mouth. This is my grandson. No.
no way.
That's my only other true regret. Like, and every time the Olympics come on, every time the World Champions come on, every time the national championships come on, I freaking watch them, and I'm like, I hate myself.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
that would be like me saying every time I see an NFL team play, I hate myself. Yeah, that's
No, I mean, I literally, like, I can remember Kim Zemeskal, her year, it was 1992. Yeah, because we graduated in 93, 92 Olympics. I taped those Olympics, and I had that VHS tape for probably a decade, and I would just watch it for fun.
No,
year,
that's
that
real
Olympics.
shit. Like you're
the time.
just mourning the loss
Wait.
of what could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
legit.
but
And I don't think I would have ever been Olympic quality, don't get me wrong, but, like,
no Mary Lou.
no. I just wish I would have lived out my potential.
Yeah. I agree.
I get it. I mean, I understand what you're saying there. I met an Olympian one time, gymnast.
Did you?
Who was it?
I can't remember.
Oh, she made a
Oh.
real impact on him.
She was awesome.
He just knew the status.
Well, she was
of-
so tiny, but she was part of the dream team with Mary Lou Retton.
Okay, yeah.
We
That's old. 84.
yeah, but we're all old at this point.
Yeah.
Speak
but-
for yourself.
But she was tiny. I mean,
I'm
it
old.
went to hug her, like to get a pic. I've got a picture on my phone. It's like I put my arm around her and
You
like
met Carrie Strug,
no,
wasn't it? That was
No.
later, though. That was 96.
no, but just stop. Put my arm around her and like
she got the Rolodex.
like
bro.
literally
Obsessed
touch
with that
myself.
sport.
You're
Like and I was
I
like,
know it. I
whoop.
know.
I mean, she was so small.
you put her in a headlock.
No, that was around her waist.
Oh, I mean, not being funny. I remember after the 92 Olympics, we went to like this like gymnastics like exhibition thing at the in Philly, and all of the Olympic gymnasts from all over the world were there. And Svetlana Boganskaya at the time was for Russia, and she was supposedly this like very tall, like oddly bigger than all the rest of her teammates. Like most
Okay.
of her teammates came up to like her chest.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her in person, she's big.
She itty bitty.
She's itty bitty. Now she's not as itty bitty as the other ones, but she was like 5'2", and she was tall.
Yeah, well, that's tall for a
That's
gymnast.
tall for a gymnast, I suppose.
It is.
They're
It
pretty
is, but it's just
compact.
like hilarious because on TV she looks like she's this like, you know,
Amazon.
model.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon the person.
Shannon Miller.
Okay, that was that was the Carrie Strug year.
That was
That was
it
way
was,
after
it was
it.
Shannon Miller. She spoke at at like a
Oh.
cancer event because she's a cancer survivor. But
Is she?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
but she is like
Tiny.
she's like the size of like one of
PVC
my
pipe.
thighs.
PVC pipe.
PVC pipe.
Were you
What?
gonna say something? Did you have
Absolutely
another regret?
gorgeous.
I do have one more regret.
I have two.
It
so
kind of goes
let's-
off of like
Oh Lord.
again, but it kind of
No,
Oh,
keep
we're
going.
Good, we're good. Talk.
You guys keep talking. I just
Keep
want to do a check.
oh.
You-
Yeah, we're good.
No, well, like I don't know if it's a regret. It's not really a regret, but
it's not a Frank Sinatra.
it's
It
more
is
of like a
something you would do differently.
something that I would do differently. So the whole theater thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I danced all
Good
my
hands.
life. I was a dancer all my life. So I danced for like 20 plus years. And I danced in college and then I went for theater and I was vocally trained, I guess.
And you have an amazing voice.
You do.
Move
So
like butter.
I regret not having your voice because I'd be a millionaire.
but I gave up several opportunities to pursue that career. And I think it's because
Dance or singing?
like theater.
theater.
Like in general, just because I know sometimes it's just, but I need to have a plan. I need a plan. Like it freaked me out graduating from college, going into a field where you would not have health insurance and you would not have like I had student loans I had to pay back.
right.
Struggling.
And struggling and stuff, and I'm
The old
not
struggle bus.
I'm not that kind of person.
Right.
And I just know myself. And so, but I think that it would have been cool to take
that chance.
on that chance. But I mean, life obviously
Your
had a
logic took
different.
over.
Yeah, life had a different role for me. But I mean, I love teaching and I love what I do because it's my like that's another passion of mine. But yeah, I think because I was offered. So my friend.
And it's so funny because when you sing a musical theater song, it completely changes how you perform.
Yeah.
Like when you sing regular songs, you sing and your voice is insane. But
Life
when
is
you
a
sing
cabaret.
show tune,
Life is a cabaret.
like in the mountains,
You
her
killed
whole
it.
face changes. Like
Okay,
she's
but
just.
that
I
wasn't
agree.
even
You killed
like
it.
that wasn't even like 100%.
I know,
which
but
was
like,
so
and
funny.
that's the thing
our
that we
point
know.
as
You-
well. That's our
but
point
like
too.
even like when you do karaoke, you're not like going 100% because you're like, I don't want to do this, but I want to do it for friends.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
That's how that
Yeah,
goes.
But like when you sing show tunes, it's so fun because you just like you
you
put on
open
the,
up. You open up like
It's
full
what-
throttle.
even when it's
It's-
not
It's fun to
for
watch.
you
Meg.
100%. For us, it's great to
Yeah,
watch.
we
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
it's fun.
I mean,
to
it's
watch.
like watching Michaela and I sing "I Have the Tiger."
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
It-
And it's not. It's not similar at
You know,
all.
shut your mouth.
Shutting up.
It's
Sorry.
just like that, Meg.
Remember, you're
anyway.
number 3.
But I can see what you're saying.
I
like,
moved.
that's a
I slid
scary
down.
world to be in.
It's a scary world to be in, and like
There's ways to get back up that ladder.
anyone in
I will talk to you offline.
You can keep talking to me, Megan. I'm here for you. Let those two freaks
You
have
too.
a conversation.
Anyway,
So
I
much love
like
in this
that's
room.
one of the things. Like my friend who was in, she's been in many different Broadway shows. She was like, I can get you in, blah 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 blah, and get you an audition with this. And I was like, no. I said no, I can't because I was really scared of
The
like
fear.
because we had talked to people who had tried to be on Broadway and all this stuff, and they're like,
how hard it is.
oh, like they would audition all day long from like 4 in the morning until 5 at night, and then they would go waitress or they would go bartend
Because you need to be
until
available.
2 in the morning, and then get like 2 hours of sleep, and then do it all over again the next day. And I was like, I can't do that. Just not my thing.
You got to read Finding Me.
Finding me.
Yeah, and that she tells that story of her rise so well. I know. I already gave it to you.
I
but
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, anyway, it's not really a regret because I'm very happy where I am in my life.
Right.
But I always wonder what
would have been?
what would have happened.
What
Like,
might
and
have
my friend,
been?
my roommate in college passed away from meningitis going to New York City. And her dad was a doctor. So strange. But she lived in New York City by herself and then passed away, which that scared me too. You know what I mean? So like all that
Maybe.
scares me. So
Being on your own, like I mean, I know Michaela's going through something very similar. Like
yes,
the
'cause
art
it's the
world, the
arts.
fine. It's
the arts.
there's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no guarantee. How
Nope.
many great artists are there out
Right.
there? They're poor and starving. And
Yeah,
did
and
you
we,
have another one? Go ahead.
She has.
I just want to make sure we get
no,
back
you
to her.
no. Let's get back to D first.
It was Little Texas.
Little Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
I
We-
like
we-
that
And I don't
What
have to
might have
elaborate because I know we're
been.
running out of time. But 2 things: the fear of taking a chance. Mine is opening a business.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
I've
you want
always
to.
Holy crap.
I've always been like It's,
Yes.
I have a book in my nightstand that's full of business ideas. And I think I can realize them, but I'm just too scared to take that leap. Like, and, I worry
It's-
about my kids. I worry about benefits. I worry about
Well,
salary. I
it's-
worry
She,
about
when she starts
and-
Lowe's country,
low country.
Remember, you were going to do desserts one
Well-
time.
I'm telling you, it's always reeling.
Yeah.
Every
Oh
day.
yeah, and we've had
Every
the
day.
we've had the conversation because I was like I could open up my own firm, or I could open up my own business doing specific things,
Yeah.
and I know
I see people doing it,
I-
and they're
yeah,
very
and it's like
successful.
I know we could be 100% successful in doing it,
Yeah.
but it's the fear of, but what
not
if?
having the safety net.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
It's the
having
same
the
thing. Like
safety
I
net.
wanted to start. I mean, and anybody who knows me from working with me, several years ago, it was my 5-year plan to start my own school for kids with autism at the preschool level because
when-
I was
when
so
I-
frustrated, and I had people.
When I first met you,
Yeah.
I was latched onto that.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
'Cause I thought it was
was like always thinking about how
I
to
had
make it
so
work.
many friends that were like, "I'll come work for you." And it just, and I even bought like the business for dummies
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, "How do I start this up?" I knew I had potential investors from certain people,
Yeah.
and it was just like that fear of like,
Making the first move, or
I was a
just
single
failing.
mom and leaving guaranteed health care, guaranteed
That's the problem.
It's tough.
paycheck when you're trying to raise kids, and that is scary. And I was just like,
There are
And there are solutions out there, but you just gotta
I think
you gotta
you've gotta
abandon your fear.
yeah, you've got to step
to
back
get it.
and do your homework and sate those fears.
Like I look at Helen and like Maggie, and they're out here. They put it on the line. They had partners, that kind of held it down. But even if they didn't have them, I think they would have still done it successfully. And
right.
they've started over several times. I mean, I think the Brosnans used to have like a gas station
Yeah.
before. They had a convenience store they ran, stuff like that. The deli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to start and
try
stop.
They're not afraid to fail either, and that's
Yeah.
a huge thing
That's
because
a huge
they know
part.
that that's part of the process. Is
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to fail, and sometimes it's going to be a success.
And I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I have things all figured out, but
Hey,
the way my mind works,
none of us do.
I see it really clearly. I have vivid visions of things that I want to do.
Well, that's why I want this so badly when we move. Whether it's like the wedding venue or something, I want to do some kind of like business. Whether it's my photography that it really kicks off, or
Mhm.
it's the wedding venue, or it's just party planning in general.
Yep.
Party planning on a budget for people, like
The wine bus.
Well, I mean,
something
and
about it that I right.
That was
Well,
my latest.
how about
we could
the
have a wine bus.
the
That
the
would be awesome.
thong bikini
Oh, yeah.
partial exposure
What?
from last night?
Oh, the chaps.
Oh, the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bathing suit chaps.
We were talking about the nude beach. Oh, you weren't there
weren't
yet.
there.
Yeah.
I missed that
Just
one.
to close
This,
this out, 'cause
this,
I think
this
this is a
is
great
this
conversation.
is when I
Do you
knew
have one
that
more?
that
It was
Or-
time for you to
yeah,
go.
for me to go home, that I had no dog in this fight.
Yeah.
That
We were
is like,
talking about
I'm going
nude
home.
beaches, and I said, "Oh, I would go to the nude beach, and I would totally go topless." I said, "I would even love to show my ass, but I don't want all this stuff showing." So I was
Mhm.
like, maybe I can create a bathing suit that like covers the front but shows the back. And then she said, like assless chaps. And I was like,
Ooh.
yeah,
We can get
like just some
Michaela
kinda
to draw up a
and then we're like,
prototype.
somehow like a skirt in the front or shorts with like a thong back and like your butt cheeks just
I
hang
can
out,
see it.
and then topless.
I can
mean,
see it.
I could rock. I feel like there's a lot of women that would rock.
Let's
that.
work on that.
All right, we have a new plan.
New business.
Add
plan.
it.
And
Add
you
it
know
to the
my
other
butt
plan.
will come up with a pattern, and I'll sew that shit.
I
She will
know.
sue
That's
that.
true.
That's the thing about like this crew.
Yes.
We're all very capable, and all have the strengths to make this kind of thing work.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Just
Absolutely.
you guys are the best.
Did you have one more?
Sometimes.
You had one more.
Oh,
You want to say it
just-
real quick?
Just I wish I invested sooner.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
it.
agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I
I,
wish.
knew
my-
I know I couldn't, so
that
that's
is
why
my
I did.
regret.
I,
I wish I
you know, for me, I would say I wish I would have gotten more risky with my investments earlier, because now I feel like I have that opportunity. I'm doing it, and I can see
The payoff.
the payoff and the reaping of it, and it's like, man, if I would have been a whole lot smarter 20 years ago,
Go back to that adulting episode.
yeah, there we go. like lost your mic there for some reason.
All right.
Microphone check 1 2.
I feel like
What
that
is
was a
check,
very
check, check.
fulfilling
That was a
Yeah, we were
great
good.
episode.
regrets done
So-
differently.
Things we would, yeah. There you go. Regrets done differently.
I like that.
Regrets. I thought regrets was a good one. But
Do we need
no
a,
regrets.
do we need what we didn't do and someone needs to do
Should
it
we have
now
Jason Brigada's tattoo?
before we sign off?
What?
Is someone take pictures as we close it out? I guess I got to do the alley cat moment and I'll get things going here. And so thank you guys for taking the time out of your Sunday or our Sunday to listen in and check us out and listen to our rants and raves and the different crazy stuff we do. We so truly appreciate it. We love everyone who takes the time to listen to us, every week. Go ahead.
Are we gonna put how they can access the website or the YouTube channel
Yeah.
on Instagram?
Can
Yeah,
you let the
so-
man talk? He wasn't even finished.
So
I raised my hand.
for the love of Christmas.
we're going to be a little delayed on posting because I've got to go in and create our YouTube channel. Say what you were mouthing.
I already did it.
You did that?
Yeah, I did
Uh,
it a long time ago when we first talked about it.
All right, cool. So it won't take that long. We just got to do a little editing on the video. But thank you guys so much for listening and potentially watching this week. Make sure you check us out on shaken_and_disturbed on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're so appreciative of everyone who tunes in every week to listen to us. We're sorry that the youngsters weren't here this week.
What's
we-
your thoughts on the spiky hair?
We've got our fade out dancers this week, and we're really happy
think
to
I
have them
want to
back.
keep that name.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna be the fade out dancer.
Fade out dancers.
That's
I love it.
that's what we're
us.
gonna go
That's
with.
us now.
That's us.
But thank you guys so much. We love it that you
We
take
love
your
our
time.
listeners.
Bye guys. Have a great week.
We hope you have
Have whatever kind of week you want.
You know what? No, we hope you have an amazing week.
No. Have
Yeah.
whatever kind of week you want to have.
Amazing.
Don't let
We're
these
done.
people tell you what
You
to
can't
do.
say they're going to. You say, I hope.
Hope.
You want
They're-
the best for everyone.
Hope
You know,
you have
because-
a fabulous week.
Because you know what? Hope springs eternal.
That you stole
No.
my line.
No.
Oh, that's what I
y'all
do.
Y'all should coordinate.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
can't we each other and coordinate?
But you know what? Hope you all have a great week. Enjoy it. Maybe I'm counting it down so we can go kind of silent.
Kinda.
Oh.
Jesus.